As I go into this video, I know a lot of you are probably going to be like, yeah, he's wearing the wrong t-shirt for the subject at hand that he's talking about. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you what you're going to know what the subject is as I get more into this video. But yeah, the t-shirt that I would be wearing to commemorate this video is in the wash because I wore it last night. And I was going to make the video when I got home last night, but I ended up passing out anyway. I had the camera set up and everything to make the video, but I got tired, you know. I worked during the week. Anyway, how's it going, old schoolers? You are kicking it old school, and I'm your host, Russell JS. Today, I have a versus video. Two compilation CDs of the same band are going to duke it out over which one is the best. But before I get into this video, I want to dedicate this video to the memory of a very good friend of mine who is a fan of this band. A good friend of mine, he was a DJ. He was a radio disc jockey at some of the local rock stations out here in Lee County, Florida. And I met him the first time I went and saw a Blue Oyster Cult concert, and he did the coolest thing for me and a friend, considering we had the first two tickets of that show sold, 1 and 2. Remember I told you about, remember a couple of years ago when I did the video series, a 3-parter on places where I saw my first few rock concerts? And I told you about the country nightclub that I saw Blue Oyster Cult in when I first saw Blue Oyster Cult concert. Well, this gentleman, I didn't realize, but I didn't find out until about a month or so ago on his birthday, because I saw on Facebook it was his birthday, and I went to wish him a happy birthday, and I found out from his daughter, he's thanking you in heaven. His health was really declining, and he would have been 59 years old to this year, or maybe 60, but he was a very good friend of mine, and I never forgot the fact that he did that for me and my, now former best friend. I never forgot that. So I'm dedicating this Kicking It Old School video to a good friend of mine known as Alan the Animal Topolin. And Animal, thank you, buddy. Thank you for that. Now, the video, what we're going to do, and why I'm wearing the wrong shirt, because, like I said, two compilation albums of the same band, I'm going to compare which one is superior to the other. In the right, we have Van Halen Best of Volume 1 versus Van Halen Best of Both Worlds. I'm going to get into these both, what I think about them, my opinion, which one of them do I think is superior. Now, before I go ahead and get into it, go ahead and if you're new to the channel, please hit a like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications for future videos. And also, tell all your friends about the video channel. I actually have 2 shows on this channel. I have Kicking It Old School with Russell JS, and I've got the weekly Narc with Russell JS, where we discuss how to avoid being entangled with narcissistic abuse. And also in Kicking It Old School, as you know, I review like old school video games, old school music and movies, cars, whatever's old school. And, I haven't really made much videos lately because I have been busy with a lot of things in life. My father, if you've been following, I've heard from my daughter quite a few times in the course of a year. And my father's cancer is now in remission. So, yay to that. And, of course, I've got a new girlfriend. And, I promised to start uploading videos again. I've got a lot to do with the weekly Narc. But, I'm right now, this is video 91. And I'm trying slowly because I want the 100th video to be something really good and solid so we could celebrate 100 videos on this channel. So if you're new to the channel, please hit a like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for notifications. Tell all your friends, man. Let's get a community going. Now, without further ado, let's check these bad Oscars out, shall we? All right, first off, Van Halen, Best of Volume 1. Now, I can remember when this CD came out in 1996, there was a big controversy. What had happened was, I guess Van Halen just finished their tour with supporting the album Balance, and they recorded a couple tracks for the Twister motion picture soundtrack. And what had happened was, there's two sides of the story, from the Van Halen camp and the Sammy Hagar camp of what went down. First off, as you know, on this album, Van Halen recorded 2 tracks with former singer David Lee Roth. And, there's a big controversy going on. What had happened was, according to the Van Halen camp, they couldn't get a hold of Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar was, off because his wife was about to have a baby and he wanted to be there for the birth. And what happened was, and according to Sammy Hagar, they didn't let him know that they were calling David Lee Roth to do the 2 songs. And it was a big mess. It was a nightmare. It was a controversial, tabloid soap opera disaster going on with the Van Halen camp and the Sammy Hagar camp. And what had happened was, Van Halen, from my understanding, according to Eddie Van Halen, he claims that he called Sammy Hagar and, they were gonna, I guess they argued and, oh, well, we'll call David Lee Roth so we could do this best of and record 2 songs with him. And Sammy Hagar quit. That was his side of the story. Sammy Hagar's side was, hey, I'm going to take some time off so I could, be with my wife when she delivers our baby. And I guess Eddie was okay with that, and he had no way of knowing that after he hung up the phone, Eddie and Alex called David Lee Roth to do the two tracks, and I gotta say, those tracks really sucked. You can't get this stuff no more. Me Wise Magic. Okay, I don't know. I enjoyed this CD when it first came out. This is something that I play in my car when I'm driving, But yeah, those 2 tracks really did suck, and everybody was excited that supposedly David Lee Roth was back to the band. They were presenters at the 1996 MTV Music Awards, Video Music Awards, and I guess it was Best Male Video. I don't remember what it was. It was a long time ago since I saw that, but I remember watching it live. And, well, David Lee Roth was a total jackass, and I heard backstage there were verbal bad words said between David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen. And Eddie Van Halen ended it with, "You ever talk to me like that again, you better be wearing a cup in your pants." And David Lee Roth was out, and it turned out David Lee Roth was going around, "Oh, we're going to go back." You got to remember, at that time, you had some reunion tours going on. Ozzy reunited with Black Sabbath for the Ozfest. Kiss had their big 1996-1997 Alive Worldwide reunion tour, bringing Ace Frehley and Peter Criss back into the fold. And there they were in full makeup, costumes, bombs, the works. The Sex Pistols had a reunion tour, a small reunion tour, and that was it. That was that of that. And of course, the Ramones broke up. After touring and recording from 1974 to 1996, they just decided they were tired and they wanted to slow down. But what had happened was, David Lee Roth had gone around and announcing that they were back, assuming they were going to do oldies but goodies tours. And none of which was all true. As a matter of fact, the only thing Eddie and Alex wanted was to do the two new bonus tracks, Me Wise Magic and You Can't Get This Stuff No More with David Lee Roth, and that was it. And David Lee Roth, because what they wanted to do was they wanted to do just the 2 tracks with David Lee Roth and then be back, make another album with Sammy again. But I guess Sammy decided to quit, and who could blame him? As a matter of fact, if you get his album, his CD at Marching to Mars, from 1997, the first track is called Little White Lie, and it is said that it's written about Van Halen. Like he's getting back at him or something. But also this, let's see. Let's go over the tracking list. All right. Okay, cool. They got Eruption on here for the first track. And then following Eruption is Ain't Talking About Love. Along with that, you got Running with the Devil. Okay. Van Halen 1. And then track number 4, they go to Dance the Night Away from Van Halen 2. And let's look at this CD sleeve. This CD sleeve, too, it has a picture of Eddie's guitar with this burning cigarette on the neck. That was his trademark. And they show all the albums that were recorded, through Van Halen's career and the track list. And, it's just one of them folding things. I remember, the first few tracks, the first, couple hundred of these CDs that were released came with a guitar pick. Of course, this is probably my third copy of this album. But yeah, let's go over the track list again. From Fair Warning, you got And the Cradle Will Rock. And from Women and Children First. No, actually, Women and Children First and the Cradle Will Rock. My brain is fried. Number 6, Unchained from Fair Warning. And then we go over to 1984. All they had was Jump and Panama. Now, here's the thing. Also, there was a plethora of hits off the first Van Halen album. I couldn't understand. They must have had last minute. They just wanted to put this together and just put it out because they were still under contract. They didn't bother with putting Jamie's Crying on there or I'm the One. I don't know about Little Dreamer, but Ice Cream Man. My guess is when they put this best of piece together, my guess is that, hey, they had to put something together, and that's why they went ahead and made good to the record company by bringing David Lee Roth back to the fold temporarily. But, from 1984, all they have is Jump and Panama. What about Hot for Teacher? What about I'll Wait or Drop Dead Legs? And then what happens is we move on to the Sammy Hagar era with number 9, Why Can't This Be Love and Dreams. Yeah, I could see that. But then they move on to the only song that they put on here from OU812, which is When It's Love. That ballad with the da 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 da, that with Eddie on the keyboards and the guitar. And how about Finish What You Started? How about Mine All Mine or Cabo Wabo? And of course, now we move on to For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, which the only songs they have on here is Pound Cake and Right Now. Well, what about how about Top of the World? For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, that was really a good album for its time. And of course, from Balance, they had a few hits off Balance, like Don't Tell Me What Love to Do, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do, and, Can't Stop Loving You, and Not Enough, in Amsterdam. But all they have is Can't Stop Loving You. And, it's a good song, but, I'm looking at this, and I wish they would have added more tracks, because Van Halen's, hit career, they've got plethora of hits from 1978 to 1996. And then moving on, we got Humans Being from the Twister soundtrack. I'm glad they put that in there. I know Sammy Hagar hated that tune, but, in my opinion, it was a great tune. It came from the Twister soundtrack. I love the guitars. I love the way, I love how Michael Anthony's bass goes in that, and, Alex's drumming, and, it wasn't about party time and let's get it on. And then 16 and 17. Those two lousy tracks with David Lee Roth. And the problem was, after that, we didn't know for sure if whether or not Van Halen was going to continue or were they finished. They went ahead and put out an album for Warner Brothers called Van Halen 3, and they had Gary Cherone from Extreme on the lead vocals. And from what I heard, I only heard one song, which was Fire in the Hole, and it sounded pretty good. But I heard the album tanked. I mean, within a few months, I was at a local record store, and there it was in the bargain bin. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, stick around. I'm going to move up to Best of Both Worlds. I'll be right with you. Okay, so how do I rate this? I'm going to be fair with this, because this CD right here, I was actually happy that Van Halen finally came out with a best of package. It wasn't the best collection of Van Halen ever recorded on disc, but then again, neither was Live Right Here, Right Now. But to be fair, hey, they wanted to showcase, they were having issues within themselves, and, to be fair, it's really a decent compilation. I just wish they would add more stuff to it, and they could have, Eddie, Alex, and Mike for the two new tracks, even without Sammy Hagar, they could have done something like an instrumental or something to really showcase their music, because all three of those musicians are so multi-talented, it's not even funny. Okay, moving on, we've got Best of Both Worlds. What I like about this is that I love the fact it's a 2-disc set, and it showcases, all the major hits. I'll be right. Hold on a second. I have to pull something out. Something I forgot to add for this video, but here we go. Okay, now here's the thing. This CD set right here, this is what I look for when it comes to a greatest hits, a best of, or an anthology compilation. You've got, you got some new tracks on this one from Sammy Hagar that are really rocking. It's About Time, Up for Breakfast, Learning to See. And what happens is, what they should have done, this is a good compilation. They got all the hits, like I mentioned. Top of the World, Love Walks In, Beautiful Girls, Can't Stop Loving You, Unchained, Best of Both Worlds, Jamie's Crying. All the hits that what made Van Halen's career top notch. Look at this, the 2-disc set. Now a booklet, it comes with a booklet telling the story and everything. And, there's a group shot individual, it's like the White Album, like what they did with the individual pictures of the Beatles. And the one complaint I have about this is what truthfully, I like this compilation, even though I gave this a fair, I'm being fair with this. I actually like this compilation better than I like this one, because it's like I said, it has all the hits, but the big complaint I have is each disc, disc 1 and disc 2, the way they do track by track is like Ain't Talking About Love, which is a David Lee Roth track, is followed by Finish What You Started, which is Sammy Hagar, and then You Really Got Me, David Lee Roth. What I wish they would have done with this was like this AC/DC, 2-disc video collection. Like in this AC/DC one, disc 1 is all the Bon Scott videos, and disc 2 is all the Brian Johnson. And we're talking Bon Scott 1975 to the Highway to Hell video in 1980. And DVD 2 is, 1980 to 1991. I wish they would have made this kind of like this, where disc 1 could be the David Lee Roth years. And disc 2, yeah, for all you David Lee Roth aficionados, I'll go ahead and say it. Disc 2 could be the Van Hagar, as you like to say. I mean, I'm biased. To me, no matter who's the singer, whether it's David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar, I still tend to sail to the Hagar era, but I'm biased with both of them because really they helped strengthen the band, both those singers. They may have had different personalities, but you know what? They helped the band go further and further. So, I have nothing bad to say about either David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar. I mean, most people, you'll have your little politics about it. You'll make it Democrat and Republican, or Pepsi or Coke, McDonald's or Burger King, Ford or Chevy, just like any of those politics. But, no politics here. I mean, now, to rate these both, all right, this is a very good compilation. Like I said, when this first came out, I was happy about it. And, my only complaint is they didn't put enough, more hits on here. It's just like they slapped the very few hits they had from both eras with two new bonus tracks from the original singer, and then just put it out because of a contract. And then this one right here, I love how they got all the hits of Van Halen. But like I said, again, my biggest complaint, what they should have done was disc 1 be the David Lee Roth era, and disc 2 be the Sammy Hagar era. Other than that, and like I said, I would love it to be like this DVD set. Of course, this is probably next to the Iron Man 2 soundtrack. This is probably the closest we got to an AC/DC Greatest Hits or AC/DC Live. But one of the things I want to show you was when, like I said, this was my third copy of this compilation. My cousins for Christmas, they got a 2-pack of this. All right, and they found it. They left the price tag on, so I saw how much it cost. I got this CD to go with this Video Hits DVD set in a 2-pack for $12.88. I mean, talk about a steal. But yeah, that's my take. So in all that, I was fair. I was biased. But when it comes to, which one of these is superior, I have to go with this one being the better compilation than the first best of. Because this has more of all the hits, and it's 2 discs. It even has 3 live tracks of Sammy Hagar live singing Ain't Talk About Love, Panama, and Jump. So, I have to go with this, because this one, it feels like, looking back, it feels like it was just slapped together at last minute to be shelled out to make money off the hits and get everybody all crazy about the whole David Lee Roth thing. But that is my take. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, new to the channel, leave a like, subscribe, comment in the box down below, and ring the bell for notifications. Introduce your friends to this channel. I want to build a whole new network. And also check out, I'm going to be pumping out soon more of the weekly NARC videos. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of stuff because I've been busy in life. But, drop a line in the comment box. I love to correspond with you. At any rate, I leave you now. This is your old pal, Russell JS, always wanting to wish you all Godspeed. May the force be with you always. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and all the people that you don't love enough. And rock out. See you in the next video.